Hey everyone, Brian from 3 Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey guys, what do you call Harrison Ford running away from Wesley Snipes?
I don't know. What?
Oh, Blade Runner.
Oh. Because he fought vampires.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's how wise.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log.
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana. I am your father.
Hello and welcome to 3 Geeky Dads, the show that replicates our jokes over and over and over again until Harrison Ford hunts them and us down one by one. But much like a Bad Rash or a Fantastic Four reboot, we just keep coming back for more. I am Mark, and with me as always are the kiss and kiss to my bang bang,
Deckerd.
And Brian.
and with us as always to say F you to math and the title of our show, the Dave Seville to the rest of us chipmunks, Tito.
Alvin.
I swear.
Nice, and you did that
And
before we
you
started
did that
talking about
earlier,
Chipmunk Adventure.
before you were talking
It's like,
about
it's
the
like
Chipmunk
poetry,
Adventure.
it rhymes.
It is. I just know you guys so well.
We're just all connected.
You just made this even extra special to me.
It's all happening.
Yeah. It's glorious. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's a plastic bag. Fuck.
It was
How is
beautiful.
Thora Birch?
I don't know. Where is Thora Birch?
Stacked.
I'll give you one better. Why is Thora
Why
Birch?
is-
Well, now and then. Now and then. Now and then.
When is Thora Birch?
When? How? Why? How are you gentlemen doing this evening?
Doing good.
We're back for another episode.
Yeah,
I can't
we came
complain. I'm a little down. We're kind of bringing this fantastic
It's been a
futuristic
good one.
February to an end.
Good
February
series.
is almost over, but I'm excited for March.
Yes.
Because we got some great stuff coming for March. Everybody good, though?
We're doing
House-wise? Okay, I want
Yeah,
to check
for
on
sure.
everybody.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
good. Well, tonight we are closing out our futuristic February with a movie that in many ways inspired some of the films we covered this month. The ultimate mixture of classic film noir and gritty sci-fi, Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. But before we dive into a world of turtles, noodles, and robots by oodles, our own replicant of... Wait a minute, what I write here? Our own replicant of ravioli rummaging Brian has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off.
The
You
replicant
rummage.
at the replicator.
My chicken sandwich and coffee. This is my chicken sandwich and coffee. I want these things off the ship. I don't care if it takes every man we've got. I want them off the ship.
Aye.
They're into the machinery, all right. And they're probably in all the other food processors, too.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, Brian.
Tonight, as Mark mentioned, we're going to be talking about Ridley Scott's visually striking 1982 movie, Blade Runner. It tells the story of a retired cop, Rick Deckerd, who is a former Blade Runner, a cop specially trained to hunt replicants, which are artificial beings created for hard labor off-world. Replicants are not allowed back on their home planet under pain of death, and that's where Deckerd comes in. He's pulled out of retirement for the purpose of hunting down for escaped replicants who have returned to Earth to question their creator, Elden Tyrell. While investigating the Tyrell Corporation, Deckerd learns that there's a fifth replicant on Earth, Tyrell's assistant Rachel. She's unaware that she's a replicant because she has been implanted with the memories of Tyrell's niece. Now Deckerd not only has the problem of hunting down the original 4 replicants, he seems to be developing feelings for Rachel, who herself isn't human. Humans hunting robots, and robots pretending to be or don't even know that they aren't human. Those are the themes of tonight's movie, and that got us to thinking about other movies where there's a robot who's pretending to be human.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who starts?
Whose turn?
It's
Was it me?
Macarena tonight.
Was it me? It's Macarena.
Macarena.
Son of a bitch. Well, I'm going to pick the obvious one, but it's still my favorite. The Robert Patrick is the T-1000.
There you go.
I absolutely love not only the actor, but I just love the design. It's a different kind of robot in general. It was unique then, and it's still kind of unique now.
Yeah,
They've
really
tried to, no pun on tonight's movie, they've tried to replicate this magic, but they cannot do it. And Robert Patrick's performance is just, it's great. It's so villainous, so simple, nothing too menacing or over the top. He just has the great look. He's got the run. I mean, I have some runners up. You guys will probably have some of my other picks, but for me, this one always stands out.
Yeah, it's great, and he dresses as a cop, which makes him just
That's true.
people.
You always trust a cop.
You trust a cop.
You know, he can shift his body into anything.
He can.
That's good. I feel like that evolved into like the nanotechnology kind of idea in films, where like that liquid metal robot is.
I love the part where he just became like a patch of the floor.
Yeah,
and he disguised himself as the floor. Remember?
Yeah, that's awesome. And he comes up.
Yeah,
that shit's dope.
Behind
to this day, when I see Xander Berkeley, all I can think of is the blade through his mouth as he's holding the milk carton.
Wolfie. Wolfie's.
How's Wolfie?
Wolfie's fine, dear. Wolfie's just fine. Fine. Where are you? Oh, imagine if she broke out with that. Wolfie's
I feel like if I was even if I was a robot, I'd be like,
your foster parents are not fine.
I'm not buying that for a second.
Who names their dog Wolfie? What's the dog's real name? It's like a person's name.
Harold.
Yeah, right? It's got, I feel like
Harold the dog.
It's like a person. Scott the dog.
What is the dog's name?
It's Wolfie. No, it's not.
No, Wolfie is the fake.
That's how they trick him.
Yeah, but
who convinces him to say that? Arnold does.
Arnold,
I can't remember.
Smartest thing
covers his mouth. He says it himself.
Yeah.
He uses his voice.
Smartest thing Arnold ever did.
This is gonna drive me nuts. I'm going to be on this while this show goes on. I'm going to try to think of that dog's actual.
He's never been that clever.
40 minutes from now, as we're like doing our MVP, you're going to yell out the dog's name.
You watch, it's going to happen,
and we'll be like, "What?
Who'd that guy play? What?"
Now Tina's going to look it up, so I don't
Rex.
do that.
What? Who's Rex?
It's not Rex. What? It's like.
I feel like it's a guy.
What's the dog's name?
It's Max.
Max.
Yeah.
Max. It's even on the frickin' collar.
Dog tag.
The dog tag.
Yeah.
Thank you. Whatever.
Why is Wolfie barking?
Okay, so that's. There you
Max.
go. Now you don't have to worry about that happening.
I told you it was like a dude's name.
Max.
Harold, like you said, Harold.
Harold the dog.
Harold the dog.
It's just throwing out. It was the first male name that popped in my head for some reason.
That is calling a dog Brian. Well, you know, Peter.
Mine. I'm keeping it close to home. I didn't want to go with.
You did a little bobcat just then.
I like the androids.
Robot.
I don't want to do the Blade Runner because we're about to talk about it. Although Rutger Hauer is definitely
Phenomenal.
But I'm gonna go with the sequel. Dave Bautista as the character's name is Sapper Morton.
Yeah.
It's short. It's only in the beginning, but his performance, I've said it a million times. It's amazing. That movie sold me on him 100% as an actor. Like he was just awesome.
Even more than the Guardians movies.
Yeah. I mean, just because with the Guardians movies, I mean, it's action and it's comedy and that's great. This character, like it's friggin' heartbreaking, and it kind of like it starts the movie right off where you're seeing the pain that replicants go through. Awesome performance and very cool character, and I wish he had.
I got to
stuck around
rewatch
longer.
that movie. I've only seen it once.
I've never seen it.
It's good. That shit's long.
It's
almost long, but it's good.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's done by the guy that's doing the upcoming Dune movie. Right?
Yes,
Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
These are the dunes.
I thought you were gonna pick Anna de Armas. She's also really
she's
good.
awesome. Yeah.
I guess she's technically not a robot.
Yeah, she's an AI.
She's amazing.
Really fucking good in that.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing.
She's amazing in anything.
She's a lady.
I would chop my own leg off.
Whoa! She's a lady. I was hoping somebody would
save that. You save that for your own time, buddy. I don't want to chop anything off.
No chopping of anything
chopping
on the
off.
show.
Tom Jones is a replicant.
That's true.
Yeah.
I heard he eats the panties.
That's how he stays young.
That's what keeps his hair so curly.
He's ingesting
science,
the tubes.
Science. This is science, baby.
That's some of that magic, that Tom Jones magic.
The Tom Jones magic, baby.
Yeah.
It's just Tom Jones, baby.
Sing to me, Tom.
All right, so it's my turn. I've got Ex Machina from 2014, starring Alicia Vikander, Oscar Isaac, and Domhnall Gleeson. Nice. It follows the story of Caleb, who is a 26-year-old programmer at the world's largest internet company. He wins a competition to spend a week at a private mountain retreat that belongs to Nathan, the reclusive CEO of his company. But when Caleb arrives at the remote location, he finds that he will have to participate in a strange and fascinating experiment in which he must interact with the world's first true artificial intelligence housed in the body of a beautiful robot girl.
I never saw that. Is that good?
It's very good.
She played Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's
very good.
It's good.
You've seen it?
Good. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a great cast.
Yeah, it is. And it's basically just the three of them in a house.
Yeah.
It's very tight.
Very A24.
Yeah,
very
A24.
It is A24.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, there you go.
It is A24.
That's why I said what I said.
Well, Mark, it's one of the better A24s.
So I'll see you next week when we go back to watching good movies. You know?
When are we doing the A24 episode?
I would love to do an
A24 year
marathon.
Should we do a year of A24s?
A whole year?
Just the whole year. Every film we've covered.
Do you want to watch Mark's heart explode?
Yes. In real time? Absolutely.
Every day I just get a little weaker and weaker and weaker.
Until one morning
I just collapsed.
Well, one
my
Wednesday,
head explodes
one Wednesday
like
night he
scanners.
shows up and he's, I'm gonna do the podcast.
What am I, Highlander too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're like wasting away.
I waste away like what's his face?
Yeah, like Connor
his-
McLeod.
We'll just edge you. We'll get you to that point, and then we'll watch Orca or Alligator.
Phrasing.
To bring it back.
Bring me back with some alligator.
Yeah, and then we'll go right back.
Let me
right
tell
back to A24.
I am going to need like a year of like Grindhouse movies to recover from A24.
Like a shot of adrenaline.
Thank you. Yeah, that'll revive me like Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction. You just
Exactly.
stick a copy of Rawhead Rex in my heart.
A black magic marker, a fountain pen.
You have to get it in the breastplate.
A fucking fountain pen.
I went something from my youth. I loved these movies. They're made by Disney. Not Quite Human. From 1987, Jay Underwood.
Great choice.
Yeah.
And Alan Thicke.
Alan
Tease
Thicke.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, Robin Lively.
Oh, Robin Lively.
He makes a son that's a robot, and he tries to introduce him to the world and allow him to grow as a teenage boy. In 1987, they made Not Quite Human 2 and still Not Quite Human. And I always loved these movies. I thought they were so fun. I loved Jay Underwood when I was younger.
He's the
Except
Human
for Bug.
Torch.
Except for Bug.
Oh, he was terrible as
yeah.
Bug.
I mean, he's good as Bug, but I hate Bug.
I'm sorry! Asshole! Okay, asshole!
But like The Boy Who Could Fly.
Yep.
He did that other movie where he makes the invisibility powder. I forget what it's called.
That one I don't know. But he was, as I said, the first Human Torch.
He was the first
to
Human
ever
Torch.
be.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's in Roger Corman's.
Roger Corman's.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four.
Good for him.
Yeah, the first live-action Human Torch, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love these movies when I was younger.
I remember watching those on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, Disney had some awesome movies back
did.
then.
That's some
really good
They
ones.
had some fun. Do you remember was it the Peanut Butter Project or Peanut Butter Experiment with a kid that they found a formula to have his hair grow back and it just doesn't stop growing, and there's this like demented artist that wants to steal his hair for brushes. But they had all kinds of weird ass shit.
Brian's like, fucking what?
The hell?
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't. No.
It was the 80s, man.
It was the 80s. It was a different time.
When we got Disney Plus a few years back and it first started, and I thought that Disney was going to have everything. Like Disney Plus was going to have the vault,
like
the
whole
because isn't that what they promised us?
That's what they promised us. Those
and,
fuckers.
and we don't have any of that.
I'll
We
tell you
don't
what's
have any
not
of
on
that.
there.
There's
Not
so
quite
much
human.
classic stuff that I
Not
want.
quite human.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Like I want
The Boy Who Could
Dumbo's
Fly.
Dumbo's Circus. And
Oh, the TV
Dumbo
show.
Yeah.
Circus.
And,
yes.
and,
Welcome to Pooh Corner.
and fucking MMC, like they've got the first season of Mickey Mouse Club, the original.
But they don't have.
But
like,
they
the
don't have
Justin
any of the
Timberlake
other ones.
years
Yeah.
or- I love that show too.
It pisses me off. I used to love that. And they had like the little soap opera on it too that
I
Felicity
wonder
was
if
on.
it's like licensing because they used to sing a lot of other people's music.
Maybe.
I wonder if that's
Yeah,
an
but
issue
Disney
for them.
owns
Disney
the world
owns
now.
everything now. I'm
They don't
sure.
own me.
They own you, Tito.
Yet.
They own you.
Fucking felt tip pen.
You just don't know it yet.
Tino, you're coming along with me.
Oh my gosh.
That's creepy. Gosh,
he smells
how real
funny.
that is.
A big white glove touches Tito on the shoulder.
Oh.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
I'll grab his feet. Yeah. No.
That's not his foot, Goofy.
You guys are gross.
Disgusting.
Did you say dick?
I was.
He did say disgusting.
Disgusting.
He did.
That is exactly what I said.
Oh, I can see what kind of show we're gonna have tonight.
We're gonna have a fun show.
Very fun
We're gonna
show.
have a fun show full of
Penis jokes.
penis
Anybody
jokes.
have runners up?
Yeah, I had Ian Holm as Ash
too.
and
Yeah.
KM from Jason X. Excuse me.
Oh,
Because
yeah, the
where
one
else
that gets her
can
head
you
popped
see?
off?
Yeah,
Right?
where
Yeah,
else can
she's
you
good.
see a fake nipple just fall off? That's
Oh,
hilarious.
a good
it's like a
She-
magnet.
she-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She wanted nipples.
Yep.
Who wouldn't have wanted,
Yeah.
She wanted to be a real girl.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
She was like
Real nipples.
she was like the Pinocchio of the Jason Voorhees world, the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yeah.
Pinocchio. Do I have any
yeah.
others? That was it.
I had Ian Holm as well, and Vicky from.
Oh my God!
She was on my
no.
list. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
let's
was my
just-
runner-up too
yeah.
from Small Wonder.
Vicky
Yeah.
from Small
Vicky
Wonder.
from Small Wonder.
I had the modern version of that. I had Megan from the
Oh,
Megan
that's right,
movie.
Megan.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
Yep.
And I didn't have Ash, but I had
Bishop?
Bishop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a human, but he acts like one. I had Johnny Five as a backup.
There you go.
No, that's close enough.
He's alive.
You can't say no to Johnny
Call.
Five.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
beautiful.
And any of the
yeah.
and David.
Yep.
Yeah. In the
Oh,
Alien movies,
David,
the
yeah,
robots
yeah.
go alphabetically.
Alphabetically, yep.
Yeah. Ash, Bishop, Paul, David.
Oh.
Brent
Yeah.
Spiner as Data. Nobody threw that in
No.
there. I'm surprised. I'm surprised nobody picked Ian Holm actually.
I was thinking Data also.
Yeah, I was.
I
I
think
I
you
wondered
were
if
gonna
because
go
he
with
was
that.
gold,
I didn't put
if
him on
it,
there
if
'cause I
it
thought it was 12
qualified.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No.
What's Winona Ryder? She's a
Wait,
she's a
but she
droid.
wasn't in 3. She was in 4.
She was in 4.
So there was none
There's
in
no
3.
droid.
Oh,
Bishop's
okay.
in
But
3.
Bishop's
still,
in 3.
Every time you
Yeah,
see one,
'cause-
it's alphabetical.
Because David is, what's his name?
And Prometheus. Yeah,
Michael
Fassbender.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. Half of Bishop comes back for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have one in the last one?
I think it was David
David
again.
is also
it's
in
him.
that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, he's
Goliath.
Yeah.
But he's
That's-
not
I
so.
didn't see
He's
that
more
one yet.
Ash than he is Bishop.
Oh.
Or in Prometheus, he's more Bishop than he is Ash.
Yeah.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, I wish they could.
Yeah.
Come on.
Get together, Ridley.
In the next one, we're going to have Eddie. Because it's E.
And
Eddie.
Frank.
Eddie, Frank.
Eddie, Frank,
Joe.
Gertrude.
Harold.
Harold. Iggy.
Iggy.
Jack.
Can we get all the way to the end?
I'm gonna
Let's
try.
not to.
Kenny.
Let's not say we did.
Lonnie.
Lonnie.
Lonnie the robot. Marvin.
Larry.
Nestor.
Opie.
Opie. Polly. Oh God. Quince.
Quince. Fools us out with the letter Q for 100 hours.
I'll take
Roy.
robots that start with the letter Q.
Sam. Todd. Oh, Ted.
I like Ted.
Ted's better.
Wally.
Uxbridge?
T-U. Oh, yeah, you.
You.
Yeah, why not?
Upson.
Upton.
Like
Upton Sinclair.
Upton Sinclair. Upton the
He's a
robot.
sophisticated British robot with a little monocle.
Going to destroy you know? I'm totally good.
He's played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'd see that, too. I'd see a bunch of things we're talking about. That and Satanic Mickey and Goofy.
Say Vinny.
Vinny the robot. Oh, Vinny the robot from
Wally.
Spaceballs. Wally.
Xavier.
No, Wally's been done. Wally's
right.
been done. Let's
Yeah,
go
Wallace.
with who?
Wallace?
That's too
Walter.
Walter.
Xavier.
Xavier.
Yeah.
Yanni.
Yanni, of course.
And
Yo-Yo. No, there was a Yo-Yo.
Zebra.
Holmes and Yo-Yo.
Zebra the robot.
Zephyr.
Zuzu's pedals.
Yeah, it could be female.
Yeah, we don't have a female. We didn't pick one female name.
No, you didn't.
What
No.
a bunch of
You guys are so sexist.
assholes.
You said
Jeez.
Gertrude.
I did say Gertrude.
And a lot of those. No, you said Polly. Polly's a
Polly
girl
could
name.
be a girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know any? Oh, yeah. Pollyanna. Pollyanna
Yeah.
the robot.
Quince could be female.
Oh, Quinn.
I didn't even think of Quinn.
There you
But
go.
Yeah, you said Quince, so
I that was close.
And there's a lot of names that are like unisex.
yeah,
you can have a
sure.
Ted who's a
Absolutely.
girl.
Yeah. Mark.
I watched Sisters when I was a kid. They had boys' names.
Can we have
Georgie.
Margot? Margot the robot?
Margo.
Michelle.
Margo. Magwai.
Magua.
The robot.
This was fun. Let's just do this. Fuck Blade Runner. Let's
Let's go backwards now.
Yeah. Okay.
Walk a straight line.
I had a great time with these appetizers, man.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's what we should do from now on. We should just
Nothing but appetizers.
Yeah. Let's just
Yeah.
All right, ready for the main course?
The main course.
Main course.
There are two kinds of metal in this yard, scrap and art. If you gotta eat one of them, eat the scrap. What you currently have in your mouth is art.
All right, let's see if I can read this. What does it mean to be human? Is it our own imagination, our morality, our ability to use a microwave or laugh at fart jokes? Who can say?
It's the ability to pick out a stop sign in the
And drive right through it. If you're in Rhode Island,
on the
drive
capture
right
pad.
I know what Brian was
See?
talking
Oh,
about.
I thought I-
Capture.
Okay.
Get it?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
That's what
Thank
made me
you.
human. I could pick out the stop sign.
But what our movie tonight says is that the line between humanity and artificial intelligence, or AI as the kids seem to call it these days, is a lot thinner than we may think. After all, I'm pretty sure there are toasters that have more humanity than some humans. Just look at the people in our government, the Academy Awards. Heck, sometimes I think Tito was a robot.
What do you bring to the table?
I'm Tito. I'm great at smoking meth.
And?
Snorting meth.
And?
I haven't spoken to my daughter in a couple of years.
That's so sad. Okay, so find something for Tito to do.
Ridley Scott presents a sci-fi epic. You know it's true. Ridley Scott presents
Get ready for a surprise.
That doesn't count. That's not
That's
a
a mask.
not a robot.
Technically, it's a mask.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott and Tito present a sci-fi epic of dramatic proportions that explore the very concept of humanity in a world of technological surrealism, with characters crafted from mystery and intrigue, with astounding visuals and some memorable performances. So now, with my own set of questions, gentlemen, I ask you, the dads, your opening thoughts. You've just pretty much gotten mine since I'm starting this off. I absolutely love this movie. I love everything about it. I don't know what it is. I mean, there are things about it that I'm sure I know Brian has brought up before, that it does tend to have some issues, and we'll talk about it tonight. But rewatching it again the other night after we talked, Brian, I still am in love with this movie.
Yeah, same.
And it's just the look of this film.
Yep. There's nothing like it.
Overpowers any of the flaws, for me anyway, any of the other flaws that this film may have. I think that if you are to see it now for the first time, you might find it a little slow. You might find it, but
by today's standards,
I don't know. If
Yeah.
you like
Totally.
A24, you might love it.
If you like A24 or a pile of dog shit on your lawn, then yes, you will love this movie. A24 did Blade Runner, just be all in silhouette. That's my opening thoughts. I just adore this film. Always have, always will.
It would have been filmed in sepia or something.
Oh,
It would have.
smart.
Yeah, it totally would
That'd be fun.
have.
What country is that near? Oh,
The one with all the tax breaks.
Ba-doom-ba.
Oh,
Good night,
yeah.
everybody.
We just need a bag of grain and
A
film all
bag
you
of
want.
sand.
Film all you want. Throw us a couple of bags of grain.
I would rather
Maybe
rather
some
watch
better water
Green
filters.
grow than watch an A24 movie. So there you go.
not true.
In fact, there's probably an A24 movie called Grain, and it is grain growing.
It's a hit.
It's a hit. Somebody will watch it. Scariest movie of all time.
Did they do Skinamarink?
No. No, they didn't.
They did. Okay.
No. Somebody's
Even
trying to be
Nelson.
like A24, which I think might be even worse. Shut up, Derek. Go ahead.
I've always loved this movie, and I like it more and more each time I watch it. I'm a big fan of noir and detective stuff, as well as the whole cyberpunk thing, and it's just such a perfect matchup. There's a lot of movies out there that try and imitate it. They throw detective stories into something, and into a different setting, kind of mix up like the noir genre. But then they forget to actually do the detective following clues. And actually, I say it a lot. Batman does the same thing. Like Batman's supposed to be the greatest detective, and they never show him detecting anything. But with this, all the great scenes with Deckerd doing actual detective work, following clues to find the answer, so that the audience has something to figure out. It's so well crafted, on top of being absolute eye candy and chock full of incredible performances.
Well said. Well said, Derek.
That's my open dots.
There you go. And
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it too. You hit it on the head. I was going to say the same thing. This movie marries cyberpunk with film noir like nothing I've ever seen. Ridley Scott hit it out of the park.
Right.
With this
It really sets the standard.
It set the bar very, very high. The production value on this movie is incredible. The way the sets are decorated, it's a world that it's just so deep.
Right.
You just get lost in it, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful backdrop for it to take place on. And I agree. I love this movie too.
Yeah, phenomenal. I love the Scotts.
You do.
Big fan of the Scotts, Tony and Ridley, for different reasons. This movie is phenomenal. Even when you see like the 2049, it's the same city, right? And a lot of the stuff's the same, but it still seems fresh and new as it did back when the original came out. It's crisp. Even like when movies like that get cleaned up, they still look kind of weird.
Yeah.
This one looks fucking phenomenal on like a good screen, and it's hidden so well. I don't want to say hidden, but like when you see the police cars flying in the air, the light and the orbs surrounding the car, like it hides a little something, but it still looks really, really fucking cool.
Yeah.
The acting in this movie is phenomenal. Rutger Hauer is like killing it in this movie.
Oh, totally.
And he's not even in a lot of the movie.
He's not.
He's
He
in
has very little screen time.
Very little, and it's so impactful. And Harrison Ford is just like a fucking legend, man.
Yeah.
He's one of those actors that like I love, but I never think about. Like I'm never like, oh, Harrison Ford, he's one of my favorites. But he has some of my favorite fucking movies, ever. I can't think of
all of us.
Yeah,
It's the
right. There are
same
very
thing.
few movies where you're just like a Harrison Ford film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that stunk.
Yeah.
Like I love everything he's in, and he can do fucking anything. Just a fantastic movie. It's definitely it spawned a lot of things, and very groundbreaking. Very fucking. It's fun too. It's slow, and it's interesting, but it's still really, really fun. And what's so great about Harrison Ford? He's really great at injecting a little bit of like humor into his character. Yeah. Even though it's a dark film, he's still kind of funny.
He's got that like dry sarcasm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sometimes with him, it's just like a
likable.
look. He just gives that little smirk sometimes at the end of a sentence.
The smug.
And it just sells that
That's great.
scene.
I forgive the earring. It's good.
I forgive totally.
A midlife crisis.
Well, no, you marry Ally McBeal, you're gonna.
You get your ear
That's
pierced.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like I got to do it. I'm with Ally McBeal. I got to appeal to the young hip crowd.
That's it.
That's
Not
what
when
it's
you're
all
Harrison
about.
Ford, you don't.
No, you don't. Anybody else would though, or maybe he felt he had to. Maybe he lost a bet. Who knows? He's Harrison Ford.
interesting.
He
Ally
can do whatever he
McBeal?
wants. Maybe.
She had to eat a cheeseburger.
Or Mark Hamill.
he had to get his ear
One or the other.
that was a straight
One
off.
or the other.
Or Mark Hamill.
Or a Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Come on. Mark, come on, do the holiday special. If I have to do it, you have to do it. Well, if I do it, then you need to get an earring when you're,
Harrison Ford pierces an ear every time he crashes a plane.
That's right. His performance in this often gets overlooked too.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks Harrison Ford, they think the obvious. Han Solo, Indiana Jones, even The Fugitive.
Yeah.
But very few people ever talk about his performance in Blade Runner, I think. And I think it's one of his best.
Yeah.
I really like it. All right,
He's
cool.
fantastic. Favorite
Awesome.
scenes. Let's do it.
We're going right into it. I like that. Okay.
Diving in.
Let me get my my paper here. You can hear me rattling it around. It's like news radio.
It's a real
It's
piece of
old
paper.
time radio.
Mark's mad as hell, and he's not going to take it.
Here is a Muppet News Flash. Furniture coming to life and eating people. Here we go. So, that actually happens in a Muppet episode,
I know.
by the way. I think it's the Vincent Price one. Oh, shit. Excuse me. That's not
You good?
what we're talking. I'm all right. I'm just dying. It's
Okay.
okay.
You're not dying. You just can't think of anything good to do.
God, I got a lot of scenes here. This whole movie is a favorite scene of mine, but I'm going to go with when Roy Batty dies. It's such a beautiful scene. The music, everything about it is right. That performance, nothing hits you quite like it. So I'm going with that.
It's phenomenal.
It is. I can't pick
I'm glad.
And the fact that he
I'm glad somebody
ad-libbed-
else did it.
Like
'cause I
he
don't want to
ad-libbed
do it.
that line. Like the
I mean, I addressed this later on, but if the movie ended there with Edward James Olmos then saying his line, if it ended right there, I would be okay. I still would think.
Oh,
this
I would.
is
Yeah.
One of the best fucking movies ever made. Like that extra stuff is fine, but Roy Batty when he dies is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing scene.
It is.
You can't top that. And Edward James almost like little extras, like okay, that's a nice little icing.
It's almost
little
like
extra
it's almost like
something.
a credit, post-credit.
Right.
Post-credit scene or.
But if it had just ended right there, I would have been like, perfect. This movie's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, but that.
Yep, it's the hammer
Money.
ending.
So
the
good.
monster dies,
Right.
credits roll.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So good.
me.
Yeah, you.
Pretty much any scene Rucker Hawes in, really.
Totally.
Because I love the scene with him and James Wan when him and
When he's fucking with the eyeballs.
and
The eyeball guy.
and the other guy takes the coat off, like so that he's freezing.
Oh, Leon,
And he,
yeah.
So he's like slowly freezing to death as he's in there. The tense scenes with Sebastian when Roy shows up and Priss is already there, and you don't know, like, is he gonna kill him? Is he gonna torture him? Like, is he gonna let him live? Are they just using him? Like, it's awesome, those scenes.
Where can I find J.F. Sebastian? I love that delivery.
Yep.
Right.
I love that.
And then
He's so cool in this movie.
That's a great actor.
And then the
He's
scene
a great actor.
when they finally like come face to face with Tyrell, that scene is awesome. Just the dialogue, the conversation about and
Confronting his maker.
Right.
Oh, it's so chilling.
and him like explaining like all the things about the fact that why it was failed.
Creates a protein that creates a virus, creates a thing that creates, and they're going back.
And it's
forth.
and it's like they're
And he's
kind of
like,
like
well, what about this? What about that? Oh,
it's
so
like they're
good.
trying to figure it out.
It's their chess match too. Like J.F.
Right.
Sebastian had with him with a real chessboard. This
Right.
is Batty's chess match with him.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna one up.
Right.
Yeah, it's like checkmate.
Yeah.
Virus.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal scene.
It really is. Good call. Yeah, mine was for favorite scene. I mean, like you, I love everything Rutger Hauer was in, but the final chase scene between Deckerd and Batty on the rooftop in the rain is mwah, chef's kiss.
Breaking
It's the
his
best.
fingers.
Dude, it's so good. Like he's
it's
got
the
the
best.
"Here's Johnny" moment when he crashes his head through the
Yep.
wall, and just like, damn,
Yep.
this is awesome.
And Deckard, he's got his fingers
Yeah,
broken. And
breaks
he's
his
hanging off the
fingers.
ledge, and Batty only saves him because he was defiant and spit in his face at the very last second. Batty's like, "Oh, this guy's cool," and snatches him back up and saves him at the last second. That was an awesome scene. Love it.
I went, you guys, two of my favorite scenes, but I love the opening to this movie. The Holden interrogating Leon.
Yeah.
It's so generic, but acted so fucking well.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, well, what kind of desert? Where's the desert?
Oh, yeah.
It's like all these questions he's asking, and I'm just like,
He hates tests.
Yeah, right. It's just such a generic conversation, but I think like the actor who plays Leon is so fucking good in that scene.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have another scene.
Is it Brian with a Y?
Brian James?
Yeah.
Brian James.
Yeah.
One of the best character actors,
Oh,
I
it's-
think.
yeah.
Fifth
He's
Element,
great.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah,
And
48
he's got a
hours.
face
Yeah.
too. I
He
mean, you can
does
pick
have
him
a
out
face.
like, oh, it's that guy from Blade Runner.
Dude, I love that. And then he shoots him, and you're just like, holy shit, where's this movie going?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love
does
that
he shoot
opening.
him? He goes
It-
like through
it's-
3 walls.
It's so, I don't know. I guess it technically is like a slow burn, but it's so, I don't know. The dialogue is so very simple, and there's not much to it, and they're just having kind of it really is like a stupid conversation.
Yeah.
But acted so fucking well that I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, I love this.
Well, it's out there. It's just a weird conversation.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
why are
it's
we
just
having
weird.
this?
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
this about?
What's a tortoise?
What's a
Yeah,
tortoise?
what's a
I love
tortoise?
that. I brought that line up
You
before.
use that?
I-
So good.
Yeah.
What's a tortoise?
So good. Mark, what doesn't work for you?
What doesn't work for me? The only thing that kind of brings me out of the world a little bit, and I understand why they're there for them, but the toy people. There's something about them. The little toy people.
I always
that
want them to
Sebastian
talk, and
have.
they
Oh, the one that
don't.
like Sebastian's touching.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just a little.
Well, there's the other
Too
one that's like
creepy?
watching
not
the
too
whole time.
creepy. It's just
Yeah.
it's like on a different level than the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just it's you know what it's like. It's like Bride of Frankenstein. You got the film, and then you got the little people.
Yeah. That's
It's
the
a
scene I don't
little
like in
out
that
of
movie
place,
either.
right?
Yeah.
And this
Aw,
this
come
was
on.
kind of
I
that.
don't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they're little people. They're like the size of the Coke can.
No, I know. I
Yeah.
remember.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't like that scene.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I like when I think it's just before they convince him to take them to Tyrell, where there's the one with the long nose, and he's just looking around like he's really nervous about
Oh,
what
yeah.
might
Right,
happen
Right.
to Sebastian.
Right.
Which
But
is
yeah, it's kind of they're
No.
they're
the
randomly
scene,
weird. Yes.
So the scene itself is great.
Yeah.
It's just with the rest of the movie, it's probably the only standout kind of.
Home again, jiggity jig.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, it has
I
a
love
weird-
that.
We represent.
Ridley Scott, like the one that you said looks all nervous. He was kind of dressed like Napoleonic. Is that the
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Reminded me of the scene in Ridley Scott's Legend. Remember when Lily is being tempted by the all the stuff that darkness leaves out for her
Right.
before she changes, and there's that like little
Oh,
person,
little
the
cherub that
homunculi
comes
looking
out and-
thing
yeah.
that just kind of I thought it was a statue at first, and still it turned its
It
head
moves.
and just looks at her with that weird look. That's what the toys reminded me of.
Yeah.
It's got to be a Ridley Scott thing.
It could be. It could be.
He's got
That's
to.
probably one of the scarier scenes for me.
Yeah.
Is imagining being in that room with even though they're toys and they're friendly, like little robots, and you're just like, what the fuck's gonna happen?
Oh, yeah,
in
It's
this
like
nobody-
place?
Sid's room as an adult.
Creepy.
Seriously,
Yeah, it's
or,
creepy as hell.
the poltergeist room, with the
Oh,
clown.
Yeah. But that's it.
What doesn't work for you?
I don't really like the love scenes. I know that it's real, but it's really only because I don't like Sean Young. However, they're needed. I understand it, and to be honest, even though I don't really like Daryl Hannah or
You don't
Sean
like
Young,
Daryl Hannah?
I'm not a big fan.
Oh, love
I've
Daryl Hannah.
never really. I don't know.
Splash.
She's such a badass.
But the two of them, this is like the only movie where I overlook that. I'm like, I don't care. I like them in the roles that they're in, and they work, and I really can't see anyone else playing the parts. I just don't enjoy seeing Sean Young be romantic with people.
in general.
She just.
Is it the Catwoman suit story?
I
Is
don't
that what
know.
threw you off?
No, you know what I think it is? I think it's because the first thing I ever really remember seeing her in
Is it Ace Ventura?
was Ace Ventura.
And you think she has a penis? No, I'm not kidding. It's hard for me to find her
Trickle
attractive.
design.
It's just the worst case of hemorrhoids you've ever seen. That's all.
It's true.
Dude, I
It's true.
think I don't know. I think she looks fucking amazing.
She
in this
looks
movie.
so femme
I
fatale
love
in
the
this
hair. I love
No,
her
the hair's
fucking
awesome.
eyes.
No, and that's the thing is like I love her in it. Normally I'd say throw in different actresses and that would make me 100% happy, but I don't feel that way with them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Even Daryl Hannah. I mean, especially once she gets the cool makeup thing that she does when
she paints
changes.
her eyes.
Yeah, like I thought
Like
she just-
Furiosa.
she just looks badass.
I like how Daryl Hannah can go from something like Splash or Grumpy Old Men to Ellie Driver and frickin' Kill Bill. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? She's awesome in that movie too. There's a range.
There's
with Daryl
range for
Hannah.
sure.
Yeah.
And what's the movie with her that like the cover is her looking like with the paint on the face?
With the white face?
Oh.
Yeah.
Clan of the Cave Bear?
Clan of the Cave. Is that what it?
that's the
Yeah.
I
one.
forgot she was in that.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that makeup is very similar to that. The makeup in this.
The Clan of the Cave Bear makeup was like, it did have black, but it was a lot of red too. Yeah. So
Anything work for you?
I put nothing. I love this movie. I found it really hard to pick anything apart. the only thing that maybe bugs me a little bit, and this goes back to one of the first times I watched this, it's Edward James Olmos' character is Gaff.
Oh, I love him.
I love him too.
Yeah.
But he bugs me a little bit because is he Japanese? Is he supposed to be Japanese? He's a Mexican guy playing is he Japanese?
I always
but the
thought
language
he was a replicant because his eyes were blue, and I couldn't figure out why they made his eyes blue. But he looks fucking cool with
his
the blue
eyes are blue because Rutger Hauer suggested it. So Edgar Allan Poe.
Edward James Olmos.
That guy too?
He went out and bought his own
Blue
contacts
yeah.
with his own money and
it
used
looks
them.
cool.
Yeah.
And he looks cool with the hat. But yeah.
But
sometimes you can't understand what he's saying, and then he's speaking English, and but he's not speaking Japanese.
He's not speaking Japanese, but I thought it was. The first time I saw it, hold on. Yeah. The first time I saw it, I thought he was speaking Japanese because it was such a mismatch of stuff. And like the Chinese, the Oriental noodle guy, or the Asian noodle guy, I guess, he understood what he said.
Right.
Like he's translating, so I'm like, he's got to be like Asian, you know? Yeah. I thought Japanese because all the advertising and the blimps. Right. You know, they had the Asian women all over everything. Yep. I'm like, he's got to be Asian. But then as I, so then like the more I growing up after seeing this movie for the first time and realizing that Edward James Olmos is Mexican, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I found out that he's not even speaking Japanese. It's what's called city speak. It's like a mix of like 8 different languages.
Yeah.
Like Turkish and English and Japanese and Chinese and. Yeah, so like every other word is a different language.
He's very bilingual. Yeah,
and so like, I mean, I love the character.
Yeah,
but I just don't get where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was Japanese, and now I'm not sure. So
I always took
it's
it
like a mind fuck.
I always thought that it was one of those things where, like most of the civilization is living off world.
Yeah.
What's left on Earth is just a mix match of cultures, and
that's a good point.
And because it's technology, that it's predominantly Asian influenced.
This movie definitely spawns that, and you see a lot because Serenity was like that,
right.
Firefly.
Yes.
A lot of movies are like, well, it's the end of the world, or it's the future, and like because so much technology,
all the nations have kind of
the
merged
world,
together, and
that's how it was in Firefly.
It becomes the more dominant language or culture,
right?
And this is the first thing I could remember that being something where they were incorporating like Asian culture into the film, and
right.
Yeah, right.
And I loved it, but I just didn't get Gaff. I thought he was Japanese, but now I'm not sure. So
I could see that. Yeah,
he's the only one that might not work. I mean, he works for me.
Yeah,
but like
he just makes you stop and think.
The mind fuckery that goes along with this character is
I can't get past how cool he looks.
He's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying.
I always thought he was a replicant. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, so he's a robot?
Yeah.
Like off the jump, because I was like, why are his eyes blue?
Yeah.
Why is he talking gibberish?
Exactly.
Because he's Edward James Olmos.
He's got a screw loose.
He can do anything.
I like Daryl Hannah in this
Don't put your
movie.
robots in the rain.
I hate her hair.
You don't like the hair.
Doesn't work for me.
The hair does not
work.
work.
I hate Daryl Hannah's hair in this movie.
It's a wig.
I fucking
despise
it.
Yeah, it's a wig.
Oh, that's a wig for sure.
I thought for sure it was just regular 80s
it's a
hair.
wig.
No, it was awful.
Didn't dig the punk thing, huh?
No, it's like sitting on her head like a fucking mop. I hate it.
It's true.
I thought it was tap teased. Ever heard of that?
Is that from
it's a
the future or the past?
No, it's from the past. It's
or the same time.
It was big in I think the late 80s, maybe early 90s. Yeah,
like a Debbie Gibson kind of thing.
It was like it was like
the crimper.
The crimper.
Oh,
no, this was like it looked like a comb.
Crimper.
It was like just a comb that they sold on TV. You would order it, and it like
the Thigh Master.
The flow bead.
You touch your hair up.
It certainly does suck.
You tease your hair, right?
You
tease it.
Yeah,
the commercial shows the girl. She's holding her hair, and she's like going like that, and it like adds.
He really wants to make the Wayne's World joke, Derek. Let him.
Go ahead.
No, I assumed it was a wig. And I don't like it. You left him hanging.
You did.
Who left him hanging?
Never mind.
At what point?
I thought you were fist bumping.
I didn't know you. I thought you were going like this.
No,
like,
I was fist bumping you because everything's good.
Well, we're talking hair. I thought, we were all okay.
That's all right.
We were
I don't have any hair, so
you and me both.
I don't know if this doesn't work for me, but is Deckerd actually good at what he does? And here's why I wonder if he is. He gives himself away to Zora when he goes to talk to her, he's very obvious that he's looking
he
for
starts
her.
with that like nerdy voice, and
which I think
lets his real voice crack.
Hilarious.
So funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what's going on here? This is too obvious.
Gosh, I'm looking for a girl with green eyes. It totally reminds me of Kurt Russell. He must have borrowed so much from that. When Kurt goes into the whorehouse looking for, in his disguise.
What I'm really,
the nerdy.
oh, I know my wife bought it for me.
Cash, hell, and it's not tax deductible, is it?
He opens fire into a group of people.
Yeah.
He lets Leon get the drop on him. He falls in love with the replicant, and then he has to be saved by Roy at the end.
Yeah.
Is he really that good of a Blade Runner?
Well, this could have
His
just
boss
been his
thought he
first
was good at his
botched
job.
assignment. If Emmett Walsh is like constantly harassing him and gets creepy Edward James after him, then maybe this was the first time he screwed up.
Emmett Walsh needed that
Because
old Blade
love
Runner man.
But this is also possibly the first time he's ever been a Blade Runner,
Blade Runner.
as far as we know.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Because he may have just been
Maybe.
Well, he's
all of those-
miserable.
all of those
Maybe
thoughts,
he could not be happy.
all
huh?
of those memories may have just been
Implants.
yeah, yesterday, and they're
point.
like, "You're the best," and he's like, "All right, I'm the best." Why does everybody keep kicking my ass? I'm kicking my ass. I actually feel like this is pretty glaring. Why do you need a test if you can just tell by their eyes? Their eyes
Yeah,
glow.
they all had that weird glow.
Their eyes glow.
Yeah.
That's how you tell they're replicants.
But not always.
You know that Sean Young is a replicant before she takes the 100-question test. Her
Yeah.
eyes glow.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if
And then every
if Edward James Olmos is not a robot, then
His eyes didn't glow.
His eyes,
They're just
They
blue.
we know
blue.
they're just
They
very
shine.
blue.
They're just blue.
Maybe other people's eyes glow.
They say
Maybe they got like
there's
future
a quick
contacts
scene
or
where
something.
I read something. There's a quick cut of Harrison Ford, and his eyes glow for like a second.
Oh.
Oh, no kidding.
So that's like,
Well, that was
maybe
The studio was really
Yeah.
pushing
Mind-boggling.
for him to be like
A
hinted
replicant?
at being a replicant.
Cool.
And Harrison
Yeah.
Ford actually hated it.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
didn't like that
He-
scene.
well,
To this
because-
day, he says he's not.
Because to him, he was like, no, he's redeeming himself, his humanity. He's starting at the bottom, and the whole thing is a redemption.
Ridley Scott says he is though.
Yeah,
Also.
and it's his movie.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that effect, the eye effect.
Yeah.
I think
The
it
eye
looks
effect
phenomenal.
is awesome. I think the
But
reason
it
they
only
they
happens
do
to the
it
replicant.
is so they can have the machine that goes shh. It's like the machine that goes ping. In case
After all, it is the most expensive machine in the
In case
hospital.
the administrator should stop by, I believe the Blade Runners have their own machine that goes ping, but in this case, it goes whoosh. In case the
It's another
administrator.
machine that breathes, just like
Yeah.
in the...
Oh, that's
Another
right.
machine.
That's
Yeah.
there you go.
That one always threw
Plus,
me
a lot
off.
of people might have glowing eyes because they might all have, people get cybernetics. It's
Yeah.
you lose an eye, you go to the
only do
cyberpunk
eyes.
doctor.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
James Wan fits you with a new
I
eye.
feel like,
Hong.
I feel like
Hong,
the test
James
is
Hong, sorry.
unnecessary.
you're all for just
Yeah, shut the lights off and their eyes will glow.
All right, I think
Turn off the lights,
You're looking
and
for
I'll
the
glow
easy way
to
out.
the extreme.
No,
like a vandal.
I like the idea of the test and having to give it and how mundane and like
Yeah.
absurd
You want to be
it
a very
is.
good Blade Runner.
And I love the fact that
I just shoot people with crazy eyes.
when he
Crazy eyes killer.
says to Tyrell, he says, she's a replicant, and he points out the fact that it took him
Over 100
over
questions.
100
questions.
questions, and it usually only takes him
30 or so.
30.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like it,
He
the
wasn't
test
looking
serves
at
its
her eyes.
purpose. I like the
It
test.
should.
Yeah.
But I don't think that.
Plus,
don't
I
know
like
that
the
it
weird
does.
fucking questions. Makes me wonder if I'm a fucking replicant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the questions too. The idea of the test, I think,
I'd
is
kill the
genius,
fucking wasp too if it landed on my arm.
But the
Yeah.
glowing eyes kind of negates the test for me. Where it's like, well, why ask 100 questions? Her eyes are glowing right in front of you.
Gotcha. I'd freak if there was a wasp.
Which
on
they
the
don't
end.
do in the newer one. They don't have glowing eyes.
They
in
don't
the
have the
newer one.
glow.
Oh, they got rid of that, yeah.
Well, there's no glowing
That's
eyes.
because Jared Leto was like,
Well, he's got weird eyes in that movie.
he was.
does.
He's blind.
He's
Yeah,
blind.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
But that's
Gouge him out with a
I
spoon.
digress. Does anything work for you?
Oh yeah, the cast works. This is a great
Mm-hmm.
cast. I love everybody in this movie. There's not one person I'd replace. I love this cast. I love the characters they play. I love everything about this film, but they stand out. So
Same. Everything, the setting, the characters, the dialogue, the story, it's all great. I'm so thankful for this movie because this genre is like my favorite genre of all genres. And, because of this movie, there's so many good flicks out there that kind of took this and ran with it.
Yeah, which happens, but can happen in a good way.
There's a lot of it.
Can happen in a bad way too.
It can
There's
happen
plenty
in
of
a bad
movies
way,
that
but it can definitely happen in a good way.
For me, I like what you said, the cast of dialogue. That holds true for me too. But for me, it's definitely Ridley Scott's visual style in this movie. The lighting, especially the neon, all the rain. Apparently, it can rain all the time. The atmosphere, the set dressing, the costuming. Ridley Scott built a cyberpunk city from the ground up with no green screen, and it's perfect for these characters to inhabit.
with a Millennium Falcon. Yeah, there's one of the scenes overhead.
They hit it.
They used a Millennium Falcon with like a bunch of stuff attached to it.
Oh
like,
shit!
for
Does
the
George
visual.
Lucas know
I
this?
didn't know that. That's cool.
I'm sure he does.
Is he gonna like
It's
go
poetry.
and try to
It's
fix
probably
it?
Harrison Ford's personal Falcon.
Yeah.
He brought it.
I don't think he. Yeah, no, I don't think he has one. He hated playing Han Solo. He's like, I don't want any of those toys.
He wanted to die at the end of Empire.
Yeah.
He didn't want to come back for
No,
Jedi.
he died in The Force
interesting.
Awakens. Yeah,
Neither did the audience, really.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, Empire.
Yeah. It's a
Good
great
way-
movie.
Great
It's a
way
great
to go.
movie. It is a great movie.
But then that means that Luke and Leia end up together.
Yeah.
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 You kind of need that closure in 3.
Yeah, we kind of, or maybe just make a better 3. I know that's sacrilegious. Return of the Jedi is
more
Do we really need the
Jedi's
Ewoks?
is-
More of them?
Maybe
Come on.
less
I love
Ewoks
the
and,
Ewoks.
and maybe not throw in the whole incest thing. It just kind of damages Empire a little bit.
I would rather just remove the incest.
Leia
like
is your sister. Oh, well,
If we didn't have the Ewoks, we wouldn't have the Ewok adventure.
so you want?
Right? We would have never had that episode.
Well, the cartoon.
That's one of our funniest.
And I never would have had the
episodes,
tree fort place thing.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we never would have had Willow. I don't know.
Yeah, none of that shit. All that.
Be no Muppets.
That's possible, right? He played Wicket.
He was Wicket.
He was Wicket.
Yeah, what if Warwick...
Oh, I got a guy. He
Yeah.
played Wicket. He could be in the movie.
Exactly.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I got a guy.
He's just a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Tiny,
played Wicket.
tiny little thing.
Well, he's
He was
always
a tiny little Warwick.
Adorable.
He was
I
an
meant as like a
adorable
kid.
Warwick.
He was adorable
He
little
was an
kid.
adorable Warwick.
Yeah. You know what I really like in movies? When they give a character a bio of all the people they're going up against. I love that fucking scene.
Yeah.
When he's just like, she's a sex robot.
Yeah.
This one's really good at this.
Yeah,
Super
this one's
strong.
an
He can
assassin.
lift. Yeah, right.
This one's a worker.
Dude, I fucking love that scene. I think it's awesome, and I love when they do that in movies. And the scene when Zara gets retired,
Brutal.
awesome scene. The music, it's got like, I talk about this is in a later category, but like the music in this movie, how it bounces between this like synthy kind of futuristic and this like saxophony,
Yeah.
fucking detective film, and that she gets shot in slow mo, and the saxophone is playing,
Right.
and it's fucking sad and beautiful, and I love the way Rachel's eyes look when they glow with her hair. I think Sean Young looks fucking amazing in this movie.
Agreed.
So that really works for me.
It's the hairstyle.
The hairstyle.
The hair helps.
I love the hair, and with the eyes, it's just, as Brian would say, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Kiss that chef right on his mouth.
Chef Brian.
I'll kiss that chef right on his mouth. You got a favorite quote?
Yes, I do. But they're probably all the ones you have. So.
I got like
All right.
12, so yeah.
There you
All
go.
right. Okay. So probably the one everybody has. You know the which I can't
Tears in the
remember.
Rain.
Tears in
Yeah,
the Rain.
I've
Very
seen
good.
things you people wouldn't believe.
I'll skip the whole pair, but all these moments will be lost in time.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Yeah, read the whole thing.
All right. Okay. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulders of Orion. I watched.
C-beams.
Thank you. Sea beams glitter in the dark. You guys can read it. I
Near
can't
the
read my
Tannhauser
writing.
Gate.
Read
All
it.
those moments
Thank
will be
you.
lost in time, like tears in the rain.
Thank you.
Time to die.
I gotta get my laptop back doing this. It's too bad she won't live, but then
Oh,
again,
great
who
line.
does? Love that line. And one of my favorites. Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it is to be a slave. So there's mostly baddie quotes, but you know.
Yeah.
Those are mine. Those are the ones that
The other
stood
one
out.
was Gaff, though, right?
The other one
Yeah.
was Gaff.
End
yes.
the movie right there.
He
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
he says it
End it
twice
right there.
too,
Yeah.
because
End
there's
that
like a
shit
little
right there.
echo.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not in the business. I am the business.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's good.
And you know, like I said, the back and forth between Tyrell and Roy
Yeah, it's great.
is awesome. That whole sequence.
Yep. Yeah, I've got the same one that Mark had, the Roy Batty one, and of course Leon saying "What's a tortoise?" and Gaff with the "Too bad she won't live." But then again, who does?
Oh, all of mine made it. Nice.
Nice. Go ahead, Tito.
I
Bring
like
it on.
it, dude. Wake up! It's time to die.
Yep.
Is fucking
Leon.
sick. Yeah, Leon. This is I'm gonna call back to where I shit on it for 13th floor. But when Pris says, "I think, therefore I am," I absolutely love it. I love it. I love how it's delivered, and I love how it's placed in this movie. So I take it back, Deckerd. I changed my mind. I like Deckerd again.
Okay.
I think, therefore I am. I thought it was very good. But the line when Tyrell and Batty are speaking, where Tyrell says, "The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long," I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
And when he's sitting in his car and the cops come, he's like, "What are you doing here?" "I'm working. What are you doing here?" "I'm arresting you." I thought that was fucking hysterical. "I'm working. What are you doing here?" "I'm arresting you."
No,
And
you're
then they're
not.
trying to steal
Nice.
they're trying to steal shit off his car. But yeah, and that the Roy Batty at the end is just fucking unstoppable.
Yeah, with those
phenomenal.
with those Ridley Scott's version of Jawas.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they were fucking trying to pick his car clean, and they were like, yeah.
And they're dressed in like those raincoats that kind of look like Jawa cloaks.
Some of them are little. Yeah. That was
Those are,
like
those
a
are mine.
fun-
Give me my Jawas and my Millennium Falcon back, Ridley. Those are my toys.
I'm gonna stick my lawyers on you.
It flies.
It's like poetry.
I got a new lawyer. His name's Mickey. He and Goofy are gonna come and sodomize the hell out of you.
Oh, sorry, Ridley. That's what's called intellectual property.
Sorry, dude.
The irony of it all, Mickey saying that, right?
know,
It's right to public domain. Right?
Only Steamboat Willie.
Too long, too short. What's missing? What don't we need?
We need it all. It's not too long for me. It's perfect the way it is.
The only thing for me is there's not enough neon. I like my cyberpunk with
A little more neon.
Schumacher over here.
Yeah.
No. It's a different kind of neon.
More neon, more nipples.
So did you guys read about the curse of the Blade Runner curse? All the brands that they have on the neon signs all kind of went belly up except for Coca-Cola.
Oh, really?
After they appeared in this movie.
Oh, that's funny because in the
Like
newer one, the only
Atari-
one that Coca-Cola is the only one in the newer one.
Yeah.
Everything else is like Sony or something else.
Yeah, they had like
Oh, yeah,
Atari. They had
Atari.
like there was a stereo brand. There was something. They listed about a dozen of them.
Radio Shack and Caldor.
The Chevy Chase show.
The original Skeletor. The Chevy Chase show.
Yeah, I think one of them was JVC.
Oh, I think you're right.
JVC.
Yeah.
There was
Oh,
a
fuck
bunch of other
JVC.
ones.
Oh, because that stuff was
like Pan Am.
Yep.
Pan Am
Oh,
was clearly displayed, and they went belly up shortly after. Yeah, so they were.
There's a lot of businesses though.
I know, but it was just fun. Like
it
they,
is funny.
But it
they
does
were
seem
all,
like a curse.
Yeah, they called it the Blade Runner curse.
But Coca-Cola survived.
They were
You can't beat the real thing.
They survived the Coke Wars.
Yes,
Yeah.
They even survived the new Coke, which came out a few years after this movie.
I haven't told my
That takes
kids
place in
about those wars
2019?
yet.
Is it 2019?
For what?
This movie?
2017.
2017?
And then
Yeah, I thought it was 2019, wasn't it?
I thought it was 2017.
It's November.
And then they bumped it up in the special like later on when they put new editions, like they pushed it further to make it a little more. I don't know.
Let's find
Oh,
out.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know we passed Blade Runner time, man.
We
I'm
did.
very disappointed in this
2019.
feature.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
'Cause the
2019,
sequel's
November.
It's 30 years later.
Yeah.
No kidding.
All right.
All right. Well, we didn't get any of that fun.
How about you, Ramsey?
Coca-Cola.
Too
What
long,
category
too
are we
short-
doing?
too
No,
long, too short? What's
it's
missing?
perfect. It's just right. It tells its story in just the right amount of time.
I agree. Even with a director's cut and a final cut, still less than 2 hours long.
There you go.
For a movie like this,
He's an economical director.
dude, it's fucking perfect. It really is. Like for a movie like this that, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes more, I might be like, damn, really, you need to relax.
Dial it back a bit.
Yeah, really. It's like it's perfect. It's perfect. The length is good. Even with the recuts and whatever, it's still perfect.
Remember when Ridley did his movie Black Rain?
Oh, I
with
like Black Rain with Michael Douglas. Yeah, Andy Garcia.
The tone is very similar to this movie. A lot of
Oh,
rain,
yes.
a lot of neon,
Yeah,
a lot
set
of
in
smoke.
Japan.
It's all in Japan.
I just saw that for the first time last year because you recommended it.
Oh yeah, you never
fucking
saw
love
it?
it. Oh,
It's a
it's
good
so good.
movie.
Yes,
You haven't seen
Check
it?
it out.
Yeah, the cops in
Oh,
Japan.
watching that. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas and Andy Garcia are hunting like a dude from the Yakuza in Japan. Fish out of water, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And the Black Rain is
but if you like
Hiroshima.
the neo-noir kind of cyberpunk,
you'll get your neon in there.
You will definitely.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
You will definitely. Oh, here comes the voodoo.
And dude, the only thing, so I guess similar to you with the sex scenes, I think he's just a little too aggressive with Rachel.
Yeah.
It turns me off a little bit.
Well, because he's not going to break her.
Yeah, she's a robot. She can take it.
Yeah, right. It's just weird, man. That whole shit is weird. And I'm watching this movie. I'm like, man, human beings are so fucked up. Like, what can we do with this technology? Well, we can fuck it, right? Like,
Rachel can take a punch.
What's the first thing that I can do? Is I can fucking make something that looks like a person that I can fucking just have sex with. It bummed me out a little bit. I'm sorry that I went there.
That's okay.
Let's turn it around.
Yeah, good luck with that.
If you remove the music score, does the film hold up?
I love the music, and I'm gonna say yes. I still think it's a great film. I don't think it would be as good without the music, but I still think I would enjoy watching it because it looks so good and the cast is so good. That's mine.
I agree.
This category has been weird since we added it, because the score in this is amazing. We already talked about it a little bit.
Vangelis.
Yeah. Like and the two different kind of styles that it bounces back and forth between. But take it out, and I still think the movie is amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if there's many movies out there where, like, even though the score is great, like, if it would take away from most movies, at least when they're this good, I don't think so.
Yeah.
True.
But I do love the score, and I wouldn't want to take.
I like this. There are a few out there.
There's been a couple of times where I
Yeah.
saw something where I was like, this music is really helping my feelings right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the fucking words coming out of their mouths are not.
Well, it's like asking,
Yeah.
like the Guardians movies. Like, if none of that music was in it, would you still feel the same way about those movies? And I don't know. It's when music like gets you into a certain mode or feeling, that kind of, it's setting you. That's what it's supposed to do.
Well, it's one of those things. What do you call it when the characters are hearing the music?
Yeah,
in the movie?
I was thinking the same thing, Tito, and I forgot the name of the word.
Or I think Guardians would still be good.
Yeah.
But also, what works so well with the music in those movies is that the characters are also dependent on the music.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just
Like,
overlapping.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
right.
just for
They
our
need it
benefit.
too.
It's the characters are hearing those rock songs.
Like you see over the three films that like Peter Quill's influence on this group.
Right.
Yeah.
Where the
before
music
they knew
plays
nothing
such
about
a big
Earth
part.
music.
Like
and now they're
my
all
favorite
into it.
scene of almost my favorite scene of all of the Guardians movies is actually in Endgame, the rubber band man.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
when they're all singing, yeah.
Because that's a prime example where like
Yeah.
they're all tapping their foot, so it's like
Yeah.
Peter's
They're-
rubbed off.
Yeah,
and
they're all into
they
it
like
now.
his music, and
Yeah. No, it's cool. The thing about the Guardians movie, not to harp on this and keep it going because we're not talking about the Guardians.
Oh, harp
but-
on it, baby.
No, like when I think of the Guardians movies, I think of the rock songs.
Yeah.
I really can't think of like the orchestral
Yeah.
score.
Same.
So like if you swap out any of those songs for another one that's equally like has that emotional punch,
Yeah.
I think it'll still work. You could swap out any of those rock
Yeah.
songs for another rock song that has the same feel, I think, and it'll still work. But the orchestral score for the Guardians, it's kind of forgettable.
I've never-
Agreed.
Everybody
I
just
have-
thinks of the rock songs when they think Guardians. They think Awesome Mix Volume 1, 2, and 3.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's it. Nobody thinks of the score. So
which is the same for a lot of movies now.
it is, yeah. But for me on this one, to get back to this movie, I'm going to be the odd man out, and I'm going to say it's hard for me to separate Vangelis' score from this movie. I remember seeing this movie in the theater back in '81 with my dad, and loving the visuals and loving the music that goes. I mean, they were hand in hand, and they're like ingrained in my brain, and I can't separate them. So I don't know if the movie would be as good for me if it had different music.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say no. I don't think it would hold up for me.
Okay, cool.
For me.
So I believe it would, but it's so good. I would hate it without it. But it would still be.
Well, you would hate it without it because you've heard it.
Because I've heard it, but
Had it not
it
existed.
would still.
That's what
If
I
I
mean.
was sitting in
I can't
in
separate
a
the
theater
two now.
watching somebody act this fucking movie out, I think it would be phenomenal still. How does it stack up?
Oh, it's at the top.
What are we talking? Ridley Scott, science fiction?
For Ridley
What-
Scott, for science fiction, for sci-fi noir. Call it what you will. It's at the top for all of it for me.
Yeah. So
Same top of the noir, top Rutger Hauer films. cyberpunk, Ford, Scott movies. It's the top of the heap. Yeah, and like I said, it just sets the bar so high. And
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those movies where we think about like T2s or Aliens or The Matrix, where like the technology plays a big part in why the movie is so good.
Yeah.
Where the technology of this movie is really fucking good, but if it wasn't set in the future, it would still be a really fucking cool movie.
Yep. Because it flat out is a detective noir, like a noir story. It's a film noir, but it's just in this setting, and it's what they did so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when it becomes neo-noir,
Right.
and cyberpunk because of the setting. And
I don't know. Maybe
Crazy.
we like this movie. It's not one that I talk about with people frequently, or that comes up as often as it probably
not that many
should.
people get it.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know that it comes up as often as it should as like groundbreaking.
Well, again, we talked about this with the pacing for a newcomer. It might be kind of slow for them.
Yeah.
You know, I think you've not necessarily had to be there at the time because it's a great film, but I think you would have a harder time getting into it as opposed to back then when it was fresh.
Yeah.
But if they haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend the final cut because you're along for the ride as a newcomer. You're alongside him trying to figure it out.
Right.
You're not giving all that exposition bullshit.
Right.
I don't. Sometimes you know it's funny. I don't mind.
You don't mind the
I don't want
voiceover?
the narration. I want more of like a working it out as opposed to explaining it.
Right.
I like when the character is in their head and you're hearing it.
Right.
And I feel like in a detective story, when you incorporate those things, it's really cool.
Right.
When you're trying to work it out with them.
Yeah.
Or they're asking questions to the audience.
Right.
Like, why didn't she offer me a cigarette?
Or
And
so
so
like-
you're like, oh yeah, why
Right.
didn't she?
Well,
Let's
you know what?
work this out
Maybe
together.
it would have worked a little bit better if he had like a partner to riff off of a little bit, like
Yeah.
vocally.
Yeah.
Like Gaff came in and out. Was he his partner or not? Like, that's another thing I don't
it's
get
weird.
about Gaff.
Yeah.
You know, because Gaff came to get him. Like
Right.
Gaff was going to arrest him. You know, like, oh, he say you Blade Runner. You know, and Gaff is like in his own language, like, you're no Blade Runner. You know, and
He's a
like-
guardian angel of sorts.
Oh, well, and he's got the Emmett Walsh guy too.
He's Clarence.
Like he's his old partner or,
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
But I think it would be even better if it was more of a Sam Spade.
So that's what I was trying to think
like
of.
a
Yes.
like a Humphrey Bogart kind of
Yeah.
like, well, the dame showed me up and
Well, she passed my test.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you're
right, like a narration,
Yeah.
but inner monologue
But
instead
her
of
eyes
just
are glowing
like
all
Yeah,
funny.
she had legs that went on for days.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, her
Exactly.
eyes had that glow that I just can't get out of my head.
Yes, that's
It
that's
burns
what I'm
into my
thinking.
brain.
Exactly.
the working out the thing in your mind though, like Chaz Palminteri in the end of Usual Suspects when he's putting it all
Yes.
together, that would be kind of cool too. Except have it
Yeah.
in spots throughout the film where
Yeah.
you're kind of getting these images and him looking around. That would be an interesting way
Yeah.
to do it too.
Love that
Or
photograph
Sam
scene.
Spade.
I always love that photograph scene where he's like going deeper into
When
the
he's looking
photograph.
at
Yeah,
the photographs,
Yeah,
and
he's like
he gets
blowing
Sora.
up
yeah,
certain
guy calls
spots.
him Redfoot. I'm a big fat guy. I'm talking orca fat. And all the lyrics are playing. Oh God, I love that movie.
Gaff I take as like quality control. Like he just follows, like because he always appears at the end. He's like, "Oh, let's see what kind of work you did."
Yeah.
not so great.
He's like the middle manager.
Yeah,
He's like the middle manager.
it's strange.
Emmett Walsh is the big boss, and Gaff is the
Just follows him around.
supervisor.
He makes cool origami.
Emmett Walsh
Yeah.
is Jabba, and
That's what I mean,
and
like the
Gaff is Boba
origami.
Fett.
The
You know, he made the
origami?
origami. That's why I thought he was
He's-
Japanese.
I thought he
I'm
was a
like,
replicant because
Maybe
he made
he's
the
just
origami.
a fan of Asian culture. Maybe he really likes it.
I mean,
might.
they all are.
Yeah,
at
what,
this
what do
point.
they
Yeah.
call it when people when they take over cultures from other people's cultures? They adopt
Appropriate.
them.
Appropriation?
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Like,
Culker, I was about to say that.
I do. I think it's just one of those societies where like people kind of just became Asian inspired.
Yeah.
I thought he had to be a replicant because how else could he have made those fucking things so small? I was like, he had to have.
It's
some
an
kind
art
of-
form, Tito.
It is.
Yeah, but they're like fucking tiny.
Yeah, and he
took-
made that
took
little
classes.
matchstick
And
man.
he makes them so quick.
His
Yeah.
grandfather taught him.
Guy's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's skill. It's
Whose
all
grandfather
skills.
taught him?
Edward James Olmos. Well,
Oh,
not
fuck.
Nunchuck skills.
Gaff's
Gaff's grandfather taught him.
Papa Graff.
Papa Graff.
Stacks up pretty good for you, Brian. Top of the list.
For Ridley Scott films, it's up there. One of his best, easily.
Yeah.
Like you guys said, for sci-fi detective films, it's still top of the pile.
Yeah, same. Is it the best movie?
Number one movie.
Is it the
Number
best
one.
movie that's been spoken about on this show?
I think it's
one of
probably
them.
I think it's. This is the only time I pick something that everybody universally loves.
No, I mean, we've had some where we all agree it's a good movie.
Yeah, but we
not
usually,
like we're all like.
But when we each pick, but
Coming
when we
all over it.
but for all the ones where we each pick one,
Right.
I usually pick the outlandishly stupid one.
Right.
So this is this is a different feeling.
Well, you started. With,
I don't like it.
It was Tank Girl, and I was
You're
like,
not
okay,
used to this,
that
right?
I know,
that
yeah.
feels like a Mark
Tank
pick.
Girl still come. If we do,
It would
when
have
we
been a
do
mixed conversation if it was Tank.
Yeah,
was
no,
like, okay, that's a
no.
Mark pick.
There's a time and a place.
But then you want to go. Then we said Blade Runner, and then you said something else, which I was like, well, that's even worse than Tank Girl.
I was thinking Escape from New York at one point.
Oh no, you
No,
did
But-
originally. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it was originally Escape
'cause
from
we were
New
talking
York.
about yes.
But not only did I want to wait until we did more like the dystopian futures, but also I wanted to have Derek Rook on this show
Right.
with us because
Right.
that's like his favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Then it went to Tank Girl, but same thing. It's like, no, that's not matching up with the
Yeah.
theme that we've had with the rest of them. So I don't know. Worse than Tank Girl, I could think of
And
100 things.
this is one of those movies too where it's like it's surprising that it took us 5 years to talk about this movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Like
It is.
it's a pretty big
But it's
sci-fi.
so good. It's just too.
geek
It's almost
movie.
too. Is it too easy?
No.
Like it's just
Well,
so
not
good.
necessarily.
That it's too easy.
Again, and I apologize because I said this in my opening thoughts. I thought we had talked about something where you said it was slower than you remembered it being. So maybe I either dreamt it or maybe I
you did say that.
misunderstood you.
Yeah, no.
Well, edit that out then.
I don't
Brian
have to
loves
now.
it. Thumbs up. Okay. So I apologize for that.
Ah.
Yeah, we love this movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So what else we got for
Post credit scene.
It's funny because even though the toys kind of bothered me, and I don't know why you would put this in here, I just think it would be cool. Post-credit scene, we pan through the toy shop. It's creepy. It's just, just dark and disturbing. There's nothing there, and then a light switches off. That's to signify, the end of the replicas or something, even though I'm sure it isn't. I just thought it was a nice little abstract moment.
The toys
That's
are going
kinda
to
cool.
sleep
Something like that. yeah.
forever.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if it'll work, but it just popped in my head when I was trying to think of what would I like to see, and I would like to see that. So
I like that.
I didn't have this is one of the few that I couldn't come up with anything from.
Yeah. I just said it doesn't need one. I think the ambiguous final scene was perfect.
I like it too, and I like especially that they took out the fucking them in the car.
Driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, because the end for me is when Batty dies. So anything
Right.
after that is
Yeah.
post credit. Is there a better ending?
nope.
No. Across the board, no. If you like this movie, you might also like.
Oh, I forgot that category. Shit. That one, I slipped
wanna
that one.
come back?
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go right off the bat. Fifth Element, Akira, Wicked City.
Oh, Akira. Damn, that's
Yeah,
good. I didn't
I
think
mean,
about
just
Akira.
that's popping in my head. I'm
I
sure
didn't think
some
about
others will
Fifth
come
Element
on.
either. That's
The Fifth Element.
I didn't even. I forgot about Fifth Element. That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Derek. I'm
For
sure.
for Rutger Hauer performances, The Hitcher,
Oh, true.
Flesh and Blood, Cowboy Bebop, Tron Legacy,
Cowboy Bebop.
Renaissance, which is a 2006 animated movie with Daniel Craig, Equilibrium with Christian Bale and Taye Diggs.
Total Recall.
Throw
Total Recall in
so and like there's a bunch of movies by that were also Philip K. Dick inspired. The Minority Report, Total Recall, Scanner Darkly.
Oh, Recall.
Recall.
See you at the party, Richter.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is an animated show on Netflix. Same thing with Blade Runner, Black Locust, and of course Blade Runner 2049.
I put Dark City, 13th Floor, two movies that we previously talked about. Ghost in the Shell, Ex Machina, Metropolis, Westworld.
Westworld's
Akira, like Mark said, that's a good one. That
Damn, I like
definitely,
that.
yeah.
I didn't even think about anime.
What'd you say? Wicked City?
Wicked
City.
Yeah.
So Wicked City is
I never heard of
monsters.
that one.
Wicked City is monsters and one step below porn. But
It's a bunch of monsters
the
in,
noir,
Hentai?
the noir style
is it?
is in there. Yeah.
It takes place at Fall River.
It's not.
Fall River.
Forever.
Wicked City. It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
not
seen it?
on.
Have you seen Wicked City? Oh, Wicked City's
I
mind-boggling.
feel like I have.
Oh, we're gonna watch it. Damn it! I'm gonna introduce you to Wicked City. Then you're gonna punch me.
How old is it? I was just looking at it.
I don't know. I saw it. Let me see.
87, so it's possible.
Wow, that's pretty.
It's
racy
possible
for
I did
87.
because in my youth I was like really big into anime.
Loved it. Cool.
I just
Good
got
picks.
a couple 2049. Recall, 12 Monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my thing. I think.
Oh, nice.
Award for what are you doing in this movie?
So I had a huge deep cut here on this one because as you guys know, I'm a
David
huge...
Warner.
No. Christopher Lee from Top Secret. No,
I have a feeling I know which one it is.
You think it is?
I think so.
You know?
Were you going to say because I'm a huge horror fan?
Nope, because I am
okay.
a huge Mystery Science Theater fan.
Oh.
This one would probably go unnoticed to anybody unless they were a diehard Mystery Science Theater fan and a diehard Mitchell fan. I put Morton Paul, who plays Holden. The guy who plays Holden plays Mastrada in Mitchell, one of the main bad guys. And when I'm looking at him, all I could think of is Mastrada.
Mark texted me when he was watching it.
Galano.
He's like, the guy giving Leon the test is the guy from Mitchell. I'm like, what?
Oh, I've never seen Mitchell.
Yeah.
I did not recognize
You've never seen Mitchell?
No, I never.
It's like one of the best MST.
It's one of the best Joe Don Baker movies out there.
Right.
Which is not much to say.
No, hey, he's been in a Bond movie.
Who, Joe Don?
Yeah, he was.
Joe Don's great, man. Love me some Joe Don.
And Walking Tall, the original Walking Tall.
Final Justice? Yeah, no. And Congo. He's in Congo.
I love Congo.
You know Congo, right?
Give it
You
the
know the
banana
big
with the dope
dealer.
inside.
He's the dude with the big face who kind of looks like Philip Seymour Hoffman who's yelling at Laura Linney.
Yeah.
It's Joe Don Baker.
Bruce Lee, not Bruce Lee. Bruce Campbell's dad in
Bruce
the movie.
Lee's dad. Yeah,
because Bruce Campbell plays the son that disappeared.
They should have got Philip Seymour Hoffman for that part. They look so much alike. He's also in Cape Fear.
Yeah,
So,
Fletch.
That's right, he is in Fletch.
That's right.
Yes.
Chief of police in Fletch.
Joe Don.
He was.
Oh, let's watch Mitchell. Okay. Yeah.
Say? William Sanderson.
Every time you hear like a cranky old guy in the diner,
who
that's
plays Sebastian.
Yeah.
What else has he been in? Because I recognize him. But
J.F. Sebastian? The guy that played J.F. Sebastian?
Yeah.
He was on Newhart. He was Larry, Darryl, and Darryl.
I thought so. I thought that, and I'm like, no, it's not him.
He's the only one that spoke out of the three brothers.
Yes, Darryl, and my other brother.
Larry, Darryl, and Darryl.
Yeah.
He was also in True Blood.
Yes.
And he was also in that
he was in
X-Files
True Blood,
episode.
wasn't he?
Do you remember the X-Files episode where the machines are telling people to kill?
William
They do.
Sanderson.
It's like season 2
Yes.
or something, and people start killing it because the machines are telling
he
them to
playing
do it. He plays the guy who goes crazy and starts shooting people off a bell tower.
Oh.
He's he's getting crazier throughout
that
the
old
episode.
chestnut?
That old chestnut.
I knew I recognized, but it's got to be Newhart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Newhart.
Yep.
But my real pick is Joe Turkel. He's Tyrell. He's one of the big characters in this movie.
Yeah.
And he is the
he's Lloyd the bartender.
Lloyd the bartender.
Oh, you know what cracks me up about my biggest nitpick about fucking Sebastian? When you hear over the radio that they found him and he's dead and he's 25 years old.
Yeah, well, he says that.
Yeah.
No, but he says he has.
He
He has
got
a
that
condition.
Right, because he tells
Chris.
Old isn't a condition.
He
No,
has a
no,
condition. He has a
it's like the
condition.
Jack disease.
Yeah,
It makes you
He's got that
age.
rapid aging.
That's a real thing,
He
Tito.
explains it, Tito.
There was an X-Files
when he
episode.
tells Daryl
Chris all
Hannah.
about
He's
it.
not buying it. Look at that face.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't think polio was a real thing either. How did that work
That's
out
a bullshit
for you?
disease.
No, it
doesn't really
Tito
exist.
brings it up on
It's a real thing, but
Tito
there's
brings
a
it
way
up on
to...
the podcast,
you
and it
can
comes
stop
back
it.
2
And
weeks
the Earth
later.
is flat.
Yeah.
Listen, you asked Franklin Roosevelt if he would have liked the fucking vaccine for polio when he was a kid, he'd be fucking standing up tall.
Or
Right?
walking tall.
He'd be walking
hard.
Like Joe Don. He'd be Joe Don bakering around.
Oh, you know, speak of the devil, that Sebastian's also in Fletch.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who was he in Fletch?
I forget him in Fletch.
Yeah, I know.
He's Swathart.
I don't know who that is.
I don't remember who the character
I
is.
think he might have been Ardak from Batman the Animated
He's in
Series.
so
too,
much
but
shit.
I'm not sure.
X-Files, Edward Funch, The Client, Babylon 5, Matlock.
He was in The Client?
He's in the Rocketeer. He plays Skeets.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh,
He's
yep.
one of the guys on the airfield
Yep.
in the diner.
He's in a bunch of shit.
He's a bunch of shit.
For my, what are we doing in this movie? I picked Edward James Olmos.
So did I.
Yeah, it's the first thing I've ever seen him in.
What are you? What are you,
That's what I
Edward?
put. This is where I started going on my rant.
I was right.
What
Batman
the
the
hell
Animated
are
Series.
you?
Tito can read my notes. Is he supposed to be a Japanese guy? I don't know.
He can be whatever he wants.
I always
to
thought he
be.
was a Japanese guy in this movie. He might be. I don't know. But no, it's the first thing I ever saw him in, and I've loved this guy ever since. He's awesome in Battlestar Galactica and everything in between that and this movie.
Still in my Castillo and Miami Vice, man.
Castillo
Oh, yeah.
Miami Vice.
Yeah.
So I also picked Edward James Olmos because I did not see this movie before I saw fucking American Me, Miami Vice, Stand and Deliver.
Yep.
And then I saw this movie and I was like, what the fuck is Edward James Olmos doing in this movie?
He really wanted to have creepy eyes.
Good for you, Edward James Olmos.
Man can do no wrong. Love him.
Playing a Japanese guy.
And then it worked out even better because when did Battlestar Galactica come out? Like early
2005.
2000s?
Yeah.
Right, because I was like, oh, fuck. All right, back to sci-fi. Good for you, Edward James Olmos.
Yep.
Stop fucking...
Comes full circle. It's like poetry.
He could do more than just be Selena's dad.
Oh, he can be many things. Remember,
Selena's dad.
It
He was.
was a great fit, but still, I was like, all right, yeah, of course, Edward James Olmos. Okay, fine. All right. MVP?
he was in Dexter too. He was the bad guy in season 6 in Dexter with.
Oh,
He
Colin
was,
I didn't
Hanks.
know that.
that's right.
I gotta watch season 6.
Yeah, it's almost worth it. As shitty as that season is, it's almost worth it.
See, I
to
didn't
watch
mind
him.
that season.
Season 6.
That's one with Colin Hanks and him?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
didn't
stopped.
mind that one.
I stopped
Colin
liking
Hanks
after
is on
5.
that?
Colin
Yeah.
Hanks and
And
Edward James almost is his dad or guardian
mentor.
or something.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Just his mentor.
yeah.
What season
Dad
does
wouldn't make- well, you know,
Rita die?
4.
4. 4 is when the show stops being the best thing in the world.
That's the
Yeah.
John Lithgow season, right?
right.
Yeah.
And then
I-
5 has Johnny Lee Miller as
That's
the
the
bad
season
guy.
I did not see.
And it's okay.
I didn't watch anything after.
Wait,
Wait,
four.
so are
okay.
you saying season 4 is not good?
No, I'm saying
Season
No,
four is
season 4
awesome.
was good.
After
So it's the
season
last
4.
season
I'm
that
sorry. Let me.
you
No.
really enjoy.
Here's the
Okay.
thing
That's
about
the last
season
season.
4.
That's where the show should have ended. If the show ended on season 4, it would have been phenomenally a flawless show. I think.
I still have not seen the final episode of season 4, even though I fucking loved that season. Reason why, when we were living up in Franklin, the woman that lived above us spoiled the last episode for me before I could see it.
That's
wow.
She's like, I can't believe Rita died. Did you watch it last night? I said, no, I didn't.
Oh,
Motherfucker. And I
that was a real gut shot.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Well,
fucking
literally.
hated Rita. I
Did you-
fucking hate that. I hate her so
I didn't
much.
like her either. But did you miss her
when
when
she died,
was
I was
gone?
like, you
Yeah.
can't kill Rita. Who am
Yeah,
I
I
gonna
know.
hate?
Uh-huh.
I can't hate the serial killer.
That's
Yeah,
how
I'm rooting for the
awesome that
serial
show
killer.
Yeah,
was.
she fucking sucks.
I hope they eat your friends.
That's how I felt about Joffrey Baratheon when he died. I was like, who the fuck am I
Oh,
gonna
I know.
hate now?
I know.
Oh, I was sorry when he died.
I
was
wanted to
totally
see him
alright
die,
with
but I didn't want to see him
But I
die.
didn't want to see him
I was
die.
happy when that show died. It made everybody
the
upset.
last season sucked. Let's not get on that.
Sorry.
MVP.
MVP. I want to say Rutger Hauer. I really do. And I
Then say it.
originally
Say it.
had gone with the visuals because that's what I think of when you say Blade Runner.
Yeah.
But the more we talked about it tonight, I got to go with Rutger Hauer.
Same. Every scene he's in is amazing.
Yeah.
He's intense and frightening.
And cool.
But then at the same time, like especially at the end, he's empathetic.
Yeah.
Like you
totally.
feel bad for him, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
There's not many actors that can do that, and
Yeah.
he just fucking nails it.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
When he's kind though, it's like genuine.
Yeah.
Right.
When he's
Right.
nice to Sebastian, is genuine.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah. Outside
like
of the
it-
fact that you think he might hurt him if he doesn't give him what he wants,
Right.
he's still like
He's
let me see if
scary.
I can win you over first before I go where I
Right.
need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just yeah.
And he's naturally menacing looking, so that's not easy
Yeah.
to pull off. It's not like it's a good looking guy who's bad, but when he turns on the charm, you can easily empathize
Right.
with him. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Is this an anti-hero?
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks
Yeah.
what he's doing is right.
Yeah.
Sure.
He just wants to live a little longer.
He's really.
Who doesn't?
They're victims. They really are.
But he's not
Yeah.
like
You know?
wrong, right?
Well,
I don't know that he's
I
necessarily
mean,
wrong
honestly,
for
he's
wanting
the
to-
Frankenstein monster from the book. He's Mary
Sure.
Shelley's Frankenstein. He was given a life that he never asked to be born, but now that he is and he's gotten a taste of
Yeah.
life, he wants things on his
Yeah,
terms.
and
That's
he's
exactly what
shunned
the
by
monster
society.
wants. Exactly.
They keep him off world doing
Yep.
tasks that humans don't want to do.
Right.
So yeah,
And
you're
knowing,
absolutely
knowing
right.
that he only has
That happens.
Yeah.
a 4-year lifespan.
So I mean, he just wants
Yeah.
more life.
Right.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to live a little longer? Yeah, I picked Howard too.
I love that he doesn't die. I love that he just shuts down. I fucking love that shit.
I know.
He just shuts down.
Yep.
All right, I'm done.
Yep.
Time
Date-
to die.
Termination date.
I fucking Rutger Hauer, of course.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good.
Across the board.
Yeah, Blade
Awesome.
Runner.
That's Blade Runner.
That's Blade Runner. Thumbs
right.
up from everybody. Highly
Absolutely.
recommended from all the
Abso-fucking-lutely.
dads. Top of the cheese.
Yeah.
Top of the cheese there, Derek.
So is it top of the 4 films that we've seen?
Oh,
this
absolutely.
you
season?
wanna
Oh, yeah, we got to rate
All
them,
right,
right?
let's rank
All right,
them.
so we had Blade Runner,
Dark City.
Dark City,
13th Floor, and Brazil.
You want to start?
Go ahead, you start.
All right, I'm going to go Blade Runner, Brazil, Dark City, 13th Floor.
Boom.
Yeah, you know what? As much as I love 13th Floor, I'm the same.
Same lineup?
Dark
What
City,
was your second?
My second was Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're all going Blade Runner, Brazil, Dark City, 13th
Floor. That's
even
mine
you too,
Yeah,
because I know you're a huge Dark City fan, and I am too.
Yeah,
but
I've got to
really
put the other two above it after watching them back to back to back. Yeah.
I mean, I'm amazed I put Brazil over
these
Dark
last
City.
two.
Same here.
But these last two were masterpieces.
Yeah,
they really
were.
are. Yeah. I mean, they don't make movies like that much anymore, and it's a shame.
Like Tito says, only overseas.
Okay.
The Europeans.
Yeah.
The Europeans.
Fucking, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Fuck them. And their subtitles.
Damn them all!
And their subtitles.
What's making our geek flag fly?
I don't know, Mark. What's making your geek
question?
flag fly?
Well, I forgot to mention it last week, so I'm gonna say it this week. I watched the Joe Bob Valentine special on Shudder.
Yeah,
they did Freeway,
awesome,
and Vamp, two movies I absolutely love. And Freeway I had not watched since I think with you guys back in the 90s, because Scott was a huge Reese Witherspoon fan. We had to watch every Reese Witherspoon movie. So seeing Freeway again and watching Joe Bob just talk about it, I really dug it. I dug that movie just even more than I did before. I couldn't even remember how much I liked it, but I loved it.
That movie came out in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love it.
Like 95, 96?
High school? Were you in high school in that?
I was in
college. It had to have. Yeah, so it was like
in college or
probably 98.
Yeah,
97, 98 when it came out because I watched it with them.
And you were going
at cable, and
Freeway was 96
senior year.
96.
Freeway was 96.
Well, it could have come out in 96, but we could have seen it in 98.
Yeah.
Bottom line, though, the whole special was awesome. Joe Bob, Darcy, they were great. And the two movies they did, top notch. Usually, Joe Bob picks one movie I really like, one whatever. But both of them, I think,
the other one was
good.
Vamp.
Vamp is,
I have to see that.
Vamp is a crazy
Grace Jones?
cult movie.
Grace Jones.
And,
I always thought it was
and the
Tyrell
kid
Hanna.
from Meatballs. I forgot the guy from Meatballs.
Makepeace?
Yeah.
And Grady
because of Blade Runner. Like the hair is the same.
And the other thing I got very quickly is I'm a huge Dario Argento fan, and there's a documentary called Panico about it's a documentary about Dario Argento. Panico. If you like Dario Argento movies, check it out.
Speaking of Blade Runner 2099 is a TV show that Prime is doing. And it shut production off.
Oh, it's
during
a
the strike.
TV show.
Yeah, it's going to be episodic, but it was halted due to the writer's strike, and I guess production is restarting in April.
Back on.
Cool.
And the director of the first two episodes is the guy that's directed the first two episodes of the upcoming Shogun that I cannot
the
wait
FX
to
show.
watch. Yeah, that drops on
cool.
FX February 27th.
Nice.
I cannot wait to watch that. My other thing was Tracy on Netflix. It's a
Tracy or Trace?
It's Trese.
Okay.
And it's pronounced Tracy.
Okay.
It's the last name of the character. It's a Filipino anime influenced show on Netflix. It's based on a comic series of the same name. It follows Alexander Tracy, who serves as a protector of humanity from supernatural beings from the underworld. It's a cool 6-episode show. It's easy.
That actually sounds like Wicked City.
Episodes.
Oh, really?
That sounds like the plot of Wicked City in a sense. And that's on what? Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'll check that out. Ryan.
I really got nothing. Honestly,
right.
I'm
just
serious.
you.
There are weeks I scrape the barrel sometimes.
It happens.
You
saw the Joe Bob thing. Did you like it?
I did. I still haven't seen Vamp. I watched
okay.
Freeway, which I've seen Freeway before, and I loved it. And I loved Joe Bob's commentary to go along with it. The only thing I can think of is I brought it up a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week. My wife and I started Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Oh, right.
We finished it last night, and it's phenomenal.
Cool. Really?
It was slow to get into at first.
You had mentioned.
But it picks up. Like after episode 3 and 4, boom. It was a fun ride.
Awesome.
Yeah,
How many
really good
altogether
series.
episodes
Only
are
8.
there?
Only 8, and they're not even an hour long.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're
Nice.
they're like a half hour, 40 minutes long.
Cool.
Liked it a lot, and it finished on a cliffhanger. So hopefully it's going to get picked up for season 2 because I really dug it.
Nice.
We were talking about this earlier, but the X-Men animated series, the trailer came out.
X-Men 97.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Same.
Now, when does that start? When does that air on Disney Plus?
Oh, March. Sometime in March.
Oh, so it's next month. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to rewatch the 90s
tonight,
series.
Tonight on Disney Plus, I think, is the final season of The Bad Batch starts.
Oh, I have never watched that.
I haven't either, only because I never got into the Clone Wars, and I really want to get into.
It's like a spinoff of that.
I still haven't watched the last
Clone
season
Wars.
of Mandalorian because I knew that there were a bunch of references to that show. Like,
yeah, but you can still watch The Mandalorian without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've kind of fallen off the Star
I don't
Wars.
think I have either. I didn't see
I have to
Ahsoka.
catch up.
I didn't see the last.
I did too. I haven't seen a lot of Star
I didn't
Wars.
watch
I gotta catch
Ahsoka.
up. Yeah, same. And I've heard it's phenomenal. and I
Ahsoka was really good.
Yeah, I do want to see that.
But Ahsoka's the one that has a lot of references to Rebels,
right?
Which isn't the Clone Wars, but it's
it's
the other animated show, but it's really good.
Bunch of hot aliens.
Yeah, it is a lot of.
And
hot
I haven't
aliens.
seen Andor yet either.
That's another one.
Andor's
Andor's
fantastic.
awesome.
I'm dying for the second season to come out because I was under the impression that seasons 1 and 2 were like filmed back to back. I don't know why I thought that. And I figured like,
wasn't it like 20-something episodes?
yeah,
that they
exactly.
made?
But then they split it, and
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, so there's going to be 2 seasons and that's it. And now it's like, it seems like 3 years since season 1, and we're still waiting for the second season to drop.
And the other thing I just it was only 6 episodes. Season 4 of True Detective is really fucking good.
Oh, cool.
If you like season 1, there's a lot of callbacks to it. There's some cool connections to season 1.
So all episodes are all out?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It was only 6 episodes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, good. I'm going to start watching it then.
Quick. And is it Callie Race, the girl from Rhode Island? She's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that she would probably suck, but she isn't. Great act. Jodie Foster is fucking phenomenal.
She's
the two
good
of
in
them
everything.
together
She
are
really is.
so good.
Except Contact, but that's not her fault.
I liked Contact.
I like Contact.
Did you really?
I've never seen that
Yeah.
movie. I don't think I've ever seen it.
I didn't like it.
And
No, sir.
She's,
No, sir, I didn't like it.
It's like, it's very season 1 in the sense that it has this kind of supernatural kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But the way they wrap it up is actually really smart. I won't give anything away, but it's good. It's dark.
Rita dies at the end.
Cool. it was good.
Damn you!
It was very good for season 4. I like season 2. A lot of people didn't. I thought season 3 was really good too.
Sarah and I are watching season 1 now. Like I said, I think I said this before. I'm not the biggest Matthew McConaughey fan, but he's awesome. He's awesome in
season
this.
1.
He's
That's
amazing
why you didn't
in
like
this.
Contact.
So good.
No, that didn't help.
That's funny that they're both-
nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't like it because it was boring. But I mean, Jodie Foster still rocks, and Matthew McConaughey is great in this. So
Yeah. So
I
there's
can't
some
wait
really
to-
cool.
Contact was
check
the
that
first
out.
thing I ever saw Matthew McConaughey in.
Really?
Come to think of it.
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused for me.
Yeah, no, I saw that after
I think same
Contact.
for me too. But,
Yeah.
Days of Confusion might be for me too. Also. Yeah, but that's it.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Hey, awesome Geek Flags, guys. You know, you guys recommend a lot of great geek stuff, I'm happy to say. And I know the people at home, the listeners at home, are in their cars or in an alleyway somewhere lurking.
Hopefully. Working in an alleyway?
Lurking.
Lurking.
Or working. Maybe they
Lurking.
are working. You know, we're in tough times right now. You know, the economy being what it is. Maybe more people are working. But hey, while you're working, you know, our references have given you plenty to choose from, and there are so many episodes where we give great Geek Flag references. And Brian, if they want more of these awesome recommendations and you know, where can they go?
Well, Mark, they can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number 3.
GDpodcast.com. As Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there. There are 237 as of this episode.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of
What,
episodes.
37?
37 in a row?
Try not to record any podcasts on the way to the car.
Hey, you, get back here.
So as Mark mentioned, all of our past episodes are there, along with one-click buttons where you can easily subscribe to us. If you haven't already subscribed to us, what are you waiting for? Go to the website, smash one of those shiny buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will be sure to never miss an upcoming episode. Our social media links are also on our website. We are at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our audio can be found weekly on YouTube as well. And our Ko-fi page is also linked to our website. Ko-fi is kind of like Patreon, so if you like the show, and we hope you do, you might consider making a small donation, because as we always say, podcasting is not cheap. Our Email link is there as well. If you would like to drop a line, we would love to hear from you. You listen to us. We want to hear from you. With that, I am just going to say thank you out there, everybody, for listening. And back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brian. And thank you all for joining us for this month of Futuristic February. I'm very excited. Next month, we are bringing back In the March of Madness. This debuted last year. We had a lot of fun with it. So we are going to have some crazy, maddening flicks for you all
I see what you
next
did there.
month. See what I did? So I cannot wait. But until then, for Three Geeky Dads, I am Mark.
I am Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying keep watching the skies, but now it's time to die.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
somber. It sounded better.
Keep watching the skies.
I thought you were going to go with the tears.
Well, the blimp.
The rain.
The blimp with the Japanese girl on it.
No, it's time to die.
Taking the birth control pills.
It's my geisha.
I thought you were Yoko Onoing.
Spot on.
91, she's what?
91, I heard.
Yeah, God doesn't want her. She's
People
gonna
like
keep
that
her here
live
forever. Yeah.
She's going to live forever.
She's gonna live forever.
Sold their soul to the devil.
She's the renegade cut. She's the
a
renegade
robot.
cut of our lives.
Yeah. Yoko Ono, 91 years.
She just gets worse.
Jeez.
Fuck. Yep.
Yoko
What's that guy?
Coco,
Mark
drink
David
it.
Chapman, was that his name?
Mark
David
David
Chapman.
Yeah.
David Chapman.
Yeah, ask him.
Big
He'll
old,
tell you.
big old fatty.
Yeah. Way to go, Mark. You shot the wrong one.
I know.
Fucking weirdos.
Uh,
Not you guys.
no, we are weird. You're
Yeah,
right.
no,
kill
you're right.
people.
You're right, Tito.
You're right. We're weird.
The weird people kill people like John Lennon.
Yeah. When Yoko Ono is standing right there.
At the very least, put the gun in her hands, punch her in the face. I don't know. Punch her in the head, put the gun in her hands, and then walk away.
Why did you do that?
Send her to prison. I don't know.
He wasn't all that smart.
No, 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 no.
Hey, Yoko. All right, well, let's
With
go.
that.
With that, friend of the show, Yoko Ono. If you just don't think about it.
Just don't think about it. You'll just start singing whatever. Oh. I was listening to the last week's episode of Brad, Janet, Maura.
Oh.
Maura? Maura? Brad, Janet, Maura?
What is this? I
Have
haven't
you
heard
listened to last week's
No,
episode?
I
Oh
haven't.
my God, it's
I will.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
I will. I'll listen
So
to it
funny.
tomorrow.
You guys just kept going back and forth with the Mora.
Yeah, Mora.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Brad, Janet, Rocky.
So,
Sweet.
Dude, it's so funny.
I'll put it on tomorrow.
I was cracking up.
I don't want to delete that.
No, you
I don't want to. I can't delete that. All right. That I can. No,
Porn,
I'll leave that up.
porn,
Can't be deleted.
porn.
Porn.
There's so much porn.
Jesus, Johnny, look at the organization. Sometimes I like to look at the tongue going the other way. I got a problem.
Oh, look at that black cock.
Every time you use Google, you're 2 strokes away from the result coming back. Did you mean black cock?
Speaking of Ted,
Yeah.
have you watched these? I forget the name of the guy, but there's this like these TikTok type videos, and it's these 2 guys in East Boston from a deli. One really big heavy set guy, and then like the other one is kind of shorter and with a beard, and they do
Not
all
us.
these-
Just,
no,
I know that's what you're
no,
thinking.
it's not us.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do it.
All right.
Rolling.
You just steal those from your kids? With sheets of paper?
Yeah, no, I can't say where I got them from. I took them
stealing
from the art
supplies from work
department.
already?
Dear diary.
They're from my journal. They're from my dream journal, Tito. And you're on almost every page. Could you imagine?
You're in my dream.
Imagine if I had like a dream journal with pictures of Tito.
Cocks.
Tits. Cheetos. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Tom Jones is a replicant.
That's true.
Yeah.
I heard he eats the panties.